Good afternoon and welcome back to the One the Celtic Fans View this afternoon. A little bit of an afternoon update video, and then we'll check out obviously the scores that are coming through live as the SPFL games finish this afternoon. Some funny results this afternoon, some results that you would never have thought SPFL games finish this. Some results that you would, and teams getting into positions that looked very unlikely at the start of the season. It looks like Hearts have managed to get into the top six. I'm totally gutted about that, to be honest. But Kilmarnock dropped down. Kilmarnock have dropped down the table into 10th position, which is fantastic. That they've not went down that far. I think they went down a point or something, haven't they? But anyway, they're in 10th position. No, they've not went down any points today. The movers and shakers today, Hibernian have closed the gap, or haven't closed the gap on the Sevco. They're at 46 points. They're never going to overtake Rangers now. I think the damage has been done. Well done with that. Aberdeen are currently drawn 0-0, which has Dundee United hot on their heels. Dundee United play is it later on or tomorrow? And Hearts have went into the top six. Motherwell versus St Mirren is a 2-2 game, and it's some interesting results. St Mirren are about to be gutted because they thought they were going to do top six at one point, and it doesn't look like it. But it's still a couple of weeks to go with the league. It'll be interesting to see who does finally make top six, because obviously we do go to St Johnstone. It looks like St Johnstone are the team that, they're going down. They're ranked rotten bottom, and the fact that they're giving 3 stands to Celtic, their final game, it's fair play to them. Fair play to St Johnstone for giving us the three stands, but it's all about making them money, for as much money as they can for next season. Let's not kid anything on. There has been a news update considering from the Vatican with the Pope health update. The Holy Press Office, the Pope's doctors have decided not to issue medical update today due to the stability of his condition. There's no new developments in the Pope's clinical picture over the past few days, so this is positives. The Pope's recovery will take time for improvement to be consolidated. There we go. The Pope's fine. The Pope is fine. It's even better. Let's jump into the comments. It's 1-1 Kelly. Is it? My screen's not updated. Have Kilmarnock just scored? So it is, it's just updated as we speak. Now Kilmarnock have got a goal back. Damn. That's late on into the game, wasn't it? That's really late on into the game. I mean, what minutes are they on? Wait, the screen updates. Why is it going so slow today? Anyway, it doesn't really affect this end of the table, does it? I don't know, it's went back to... Has it been... It's back to being one. Jesus. I thought it had been disallowed for a minute. Well, that's Hibernian just dropped 2 points. That makes it tidy for Aberdeen. Can Aberdeen get into that third spot between now and... Aberdeen really needed to win today, didn't they? They really needed to win today. It's unfortunate that they're drawn. I mean, how can you be drawn against St Johnstone? St Johnstone have nothing to play for. Absolutely nothing to play for. Anyway, let's say hi everybody in the community before we talk about some of Celtic tomorrow. Kieran Douglas is in the house. Sean Buse is in the house. Big Des is in the house. Afternoon to you, Des. Wee man Sham is in the house. Right, Baz in chat. He says Norman's in the house. Big Rabina's in the house. Tommy55 is in the house. Parkhead, appreciate going live, rolling tomorrow. He'll have Baz in the run. Yeah, I just thought I was going live at 5:45 for a couple of weeks during the season, and then we kind of stopped it. I just thought I'd get back into it today. I think I'll keep it going towards the end of the season. If Celtic are playing on the Sunday, I think we'll keep it going just to get some football content in. Because we're on the downward slope to no football altogether. Yes, there's an international break. There is an international break coming up. Excuse me. The ground is miles away from pubs and shops. Yeah, it is. Des, I went on to another podcast, another Celtic podcast, and I put my hand up. I don't usually watch a lot of content online. I'm usually busier creating content than I am watching it. And it's very limited, the type of content I watch. But I watched a Celtic podcast, and they were saying it was great for the Celtic fans to go and spend money in the city. And I'm like, you've never been to St Mirren away, have you, mate? And this guy's sitting blabbing on a Celtic podcast saying, oh, it's great that St Johnstone have done it. It's great that they're looking after the local community. And I'm like, you've never been to St Johnstone away. You come off the motorway, you turn up into St Johnstone, into the ground, and you're in the bus park, and that's it. There's no shops, there's no bars, there's nothing within a 10, 15 minute walking distance. And I'm like, he's obviously never been to St Johnstone before. I mean, it was fine when St Johnstone was at the old stadium. Now this is going way back, because it's now an Asda. It's now it's turned into an Asda in the 1990s. I mean, it was great when the old stadium was inside Perth, and you could go to a pub then. But when they made that stadium and they put it on the outskirts of the city, I mean, you can understand why they did it, trying to be a big team and all the rest of it. But when they've not got the support, they don't have the support, St Mirren. But anyway, Michael John Stars says, I want to fry my love to you. Well, there you go, Michael John Stars. What's the name of your channel on YouTube? One Celtic Fans View. Hello, Baz and Phil Tibbs. Come on, boys in green, says Michelle. Des says, cheers, Baz, just having a smoke and a beer and housework done. Mrs. just had an operation, so picking up the slack. Good stuff, man, good stuff. Make sure that she's looked after, and make sure that she's looked after. Let's get back to some of these score lines. What the full times have came in. Hibernian are still playing, it's 1-1. Aberdeen has finished. Looks like Motherwell are still playing, but they're all draws, so there is no change that's going to affect Hearts. Hearts have managed to stay in the top 6. Let me just get the SPFL results. The SPFL website is one of the poorest websites. It is really bad. Hibernian looks as if they're still playing, so is Motherwell. I don't know. But there's no real change at the top of the table. Aberdeen have lost out to jumping above Hibernian into that third position. Dundee United. Hearts have closed into the top 6, overlapping Motherwell, who drew 2-2 today with St Mirren. That would have been a good game to go to, actually. It's Motherwell away, but maybe not. If it was at St Girn ground, it would be. And why is the screens going so crazy today? So embarrassing that the Huns think that they're going to beat us tomorrow. Yeah, do you know what? They went from complete duds and nothing going to happen and all the rest of it until all of a sudden they're world beaters. And I'm glad that they're coming into the game with such confidence. We'll leave the results be now. And I'm glad that they're coming into the game with such high confidence this weekend. St Mirren and Motherwell are still playing 9 minutes of extra time. 9 minutes of extra time in the Motherwell game. I think they're trying to play till Motherwell wins, it scores another goal, but it's So the scores today is Hearts 2, Ross County 0, Kilmarnock 1, Hibernian 1. Still hasn't finished at Motherwell, 10 minutes into extra time. And they've now been playing for 100 minutes. It's currently Motherwell 2, St Mirren 2, and St Johnstone 0, Aberdeen 0. Aberdeen just not able to pick up a win away to the bottom team of the table. And where are all the Aberdeen fans? I mean, Aberdeen were filling their stadium and taking massive fan bases to games all throughout this season. And it's typical when a club goes through a bad spell, some clubs' fans decide not to go and not to back them. And I think that's the worst thing that Aberdeen fans could do, but who cares? The club would let the Green Brigade do a tifo. Yes, Mark, I put the post up on the community tab about it when it came out. Now, all I'm going to say on it is it's no surprise. It's no surprise. And I don't know why some Celtic bloggers are coming out and saying this is shocking. And there was something to be expected. You cannot have you cannot have a ban coming up in the Premier Sports Cup. Now, I'm not defending the club in any means by this, but I'm not going to add to the fake shock rage, because we all knew that something was going to happen. We all knew that something would happen. You can't get a potential ban in European football for pyro, right? You can't get a suspended ban for pyro in Europe and nothing happen about it. You can't then get a ban. The way that it works, you can't get a ban, or it's not a ban, but a reduction in fans, and the club not take action. The club were always going to take action. Anybody that thought that the club wouldn't take action and the Green Brigade got away with it is absolutely crazy. They don't know how this works. They don't know how the board work and it was a dig. It was a shot across the bow of the Green Brigade's boat, if you like. And it's basically saying that we are still in charge. We make the decisions, and you know this. And for Celtic, I'm not going to get carried away, and I'm not going to say that this is shocking. It's terrible, because let's face it, they would have known that something was coming. Anybody that has followed the Green Brigade for the last 19 years know the way that when there is an adverse reaction to something, the Celtic board act. Now, the Celtic board have acted in many, many ways over the years by banning fans, closing down the Green Brigade section. Now, they wouldn't do that at such an important part of the season. I think that they would fear the backlash of fans. But anyway, it is what it is, and I'm not going to get over. I'm not going to say that it's disgusting by the board what they've done, because it's the game, and the Green Brigade play the game. The board play the game. It's as simple as that. And the Green Brigade have crossed the line. Well, there's the line drawn, and that's just a shot across the bow of the Green Brigade from the board. And it's as simple as that. It's a slap on the wrist. It's a slap on the wrist. And for all these Celtic bloggers, I mean, I've seen some crazy headlines out there from Celtic websites. And it's the same people that write these blogs that then criticise the Green Brigade. You can't have it both ways. You can't criticise the Green Brigade one week and then have all this love for the board and then say that the board are cunts and have this fake love for the Green Brigade. Do you know what I mean? You've got to stand your ground. And I'm a believer of being consistent. And I think I've been consistent over the years that the channel, when you look back at the earlier videos, Jamesy boy, what did the Green Brigade do? Jamesy boy, look at the bans for the Premier Sports Cup, the pyro, right? Look at the ban for 800 fans potentially at the Premier Sports Cup. Look at the potential ban for European football. That all gets logged with the board. The board don't forget about these things. You know, the board don't forget about them. And I think that the ban for it's not. People are saying it's not a ban. It's a reduction in fans. It's a reduction in the amount of fans that's going to go to the next Premier Sports Cup game. The board weren't going to sit and take that on the chin. Not a chance. Not a chance. They were never going to take it on the chin. Anyway, that's it. That's all I'm talking about it, because there is no point. There's no point talking about it, because it is what it is. We just get on with it. You get on with supporting Celtic, and the Green Brigade will get on with making as much noise as they do at games. So anyway, Peace, Love and Port says, okay, Baz, you have a point. Let's move on. Jamesy boy asked the question. Anyway, I'll just read some of the comments. I think we'll have a new record beating them tomorrow. Do you think we'll have a new? Anyway, let's have a little laugh about them, because they think that because they've got through to a certain stage in the Europa, which is the level down from the Champions League, and it's the poor cousin of the Champions League, the pure relative of the Champions League. They think that they're coming to Celtic Park to prove a point. Now, Barry Ferguson reckons that they need to up their game, and there's going to be more defensive. They're going to play 5 at the back. I'm telling you now, they're going to play 5 at the back. Definitely. I could see it all day long. That they're going to play 5 at the back. Let me just update those results. 15 minutes. What is going on with the Motherwell game? No danger. Motherwell 2, St Johnstone 2, and it's 15 minutes. 15 minutes into extra time. 15 minutes into extra time and the game is still going on. Who's the referee? Who is the ref? I need to go into Motherwell Twitter. This is absolutely mental. Does Motherwell have a Twitter? That's absolute madness. Yeah, Motherwell's got a Twitter. Full time 2-2. That just went up on Twitter 31 seconds ago. 15 minutes. That has to, is that some kind of record? 15 minutes of extra time. 15 minutes of extra time. Wow. That is unbelievable. That has to be some. Was Motherwell playing just till they try and was the referee just, come on Motherwell, just score? Motherwell did make a couple of changes. And then Motherwell made a change. Listen to this. On the 90th plus 12th minute. 12 minutes. 12 minutes into extra time. And Motherwell make a change. What the fuck? Oh my god. The double goal scorer makes his way for Davor. You can't make it up. They made another change in 7 minutes extra. There will be 14 minutes added on. Oh, it was due to 2 head injuries. Two head injuries. Well, fair play. It's head injuries. You know. I take it the players still went on to play, and obviously did. Anyway. Oh Jesus. 15 minutes extra time. Unbelievable. Anyway, Celtic. Let's talk about the potential transfer policy that Brendan Rodgers may have this summer. I know there's a big game tomorrow, but we've spoke about it. Baz, 2 players were concussed and carried off. Oh, well, there you go. Apologies to the Motherwell player and the St John's players. According to Barry, has a plan for tomorrow. If the players carry it out, they will get the result. They're going to play 5 at the back. They're going to play 5 at the back and then try and hit us on the break, and they're going to go in with some real dirty tackles. I've been saying it all week long, and I think that will be the same tomorrow. They must be trying to sell leftover pies before blowing the whistle. Oh, Jesus. There was about 4 bad head knocks. Jesus, well, there you go. 4 bad heads. I'm off to do a peace out trips. See you later, Lanky. Enjoy Holland. It is Amsterdam you're in, isn't it? Where are you? I have no idea. I've seen it this morning. You're in Amsterdam, aren't you? Back to Celtic transfer policy this summer. Will Celtic go down? I mean, we all know that Celtic and Brendan Rodgers does not want to go down the road of prospect players any longer. He doesn't want to go down the road of prospect players. Expect carnage for them tomorrow. Expect carnage for them tomorrow. It's party time, says Lanky. Where is he? He's going to party in Amsterdam on the weekend of a derby game. Butland to knock out two of his defenders, that would be their excuse. Anyway, talking about the summer, with the fact that Celtic paid $9 million for Adam Ida, which was a bargain, when we look at it at the time scale that everything happened last summer. As soon as Kyogo Furiashi, who's now left Celtic, went down holding his shoulder, it was imperative that Celtic, who didn't have a striker at that point to fill the gap left by Adam Ida, who came in on loan the winter before and who went on to score in the Scottish Cup final. Celtic had made noises about the fact that they were trying to get Adam Ida all summer. They could have got him for a lot less than the $9 million that was ultimately paid. But the emphasis is on getting our recruitment done right and getting our recruitment done early. This year we will be going into the Champions League qualifiers with one game to qualify for the Champions League this season. Celtic will have to make sure that they get the players that Brendan Rodgers wants way before the season starts. Now, the fact that we will have that qualifier in, is it late July or August, the qualifier? I think it's August, isn't it, the qualifier? But if we leave it to the last minute, as always, do we risk the chance of not even qualifying for the Champions League, which would be devastating as far as Celtic are concerned from a financial point of view, due to the fact that Celtic have made over 50 to 60 million? No, because I don't feel sorry for... No, he wanted to leave Celtic, so good then. Why not? It's fun day Saturday. Right, I'm putting the whole question in. Do you feel sorry for Kyogo? Yes or no? It's not my question. It was one that was... Barry will blame his barber. Long Baz Jazz have to play 3. Do you feel sorry for Kyogo Furiashi, who's Kyogo made his bed? Exactly. Celtic needs to take what? Celtic need to tomato dance the egg. Yep. It was, but the back four of Ali Johnson, Cameron Carter-Vickers, Trusty and Kieran Tierney is better than the Bitton days. I don't even want to talk about near Bitton. That got me in a lot of trouble a year past October talking about near Bitton. Once gone, best just forgotten. There's 26% currently feel sorry for Kyogo Furiashi. You've got to remember, Kyogo did tell Brendan Rodgers months before. He must have told Brendan Rodgers in the summer that he wanted to leave Celtic. He must have told them in the summer. No, Kyogo left, made his bed, and that's it. Interesting. But anyway, the Celtic transfer policy. With the return of Kieran Tierney this summer and the possibility of Jeffrey Schlupp signing for Celtic. Now, people said that Jeffrey Schlupp will be taking a wage cut. Well, he won't really, because how can you take a wage cut from nothing? Jeffrey Schlupp is on nothing as a player when he finishes his contract at the end of the season. He doesn't have a contract. He doesn't have a club. So coming to Celtic for 20 to 25 or 23 grand or whatever Celtic managed to get him on would be a bonus more than taking a wage cut, because the contract's finished. I don't see anybody lining up to offer him another 60 grand a week wage contract down in England. If there were, surely he would have went to those teams rather than come to Celtic, who his agent would have known. His agent would know that you come to Celtic, you're going to win a couple of things. There's every chance that you might win the league, obviously, and the cup double. Now, his agent will also have known a rough price, a wage bracket that Celtic would be paying out next season, potentially. You don't enter into these type of negotiations without forward thinking and forward planning and say, right, if we come to you on loan and he does well, is there a potential for a contract at the end of the season? If so, what would be the potential wage bracket that you would be on? That all comes into the negotiations during the loan. And if it doesn't, your agent's pish. It's as simple as that. He would have known that if he went and improved to Brendan Rodgers that he's a cracking player, he's a utility player, surely his agent would know the amount of money that he could potentially be on this summer. Now, if we can get Jeffrey Sloop, we've already got Kieran Tierney, which is a fantastic piece of business. Who else do we really need to get in this summer? I still think that going for Lennon Miller is a fantastic option because we need another player in for the Scottish contingent. I think that we may lose Stephen Welsh this summer because he has gone out on loan because he wanted to play more football. I can't see Stephen Welsh coming back and being on the bench again and being a bench warmer and just being on the bench in Champions Leagues games and not getting any game time. He's at that stage of his career. He's came through the ranks at Celtic and he knows that he's not going to be a first team starter. So I think that he will be playing, even though he just signed a new contract just at the beginning of this year, I think it was, this season, sorry. I think that he will be one player that will potentially move on. And then you look at the player like Yang, who's come into Celtic and improved vastly. He come in for very, very little money. I think it was under £1 million that we got Yang for. So will Brendan Rodgers ultimately go into this summer in the transfer market? Will he go into the summer in the transfer market trying to pick out bargains, or will he go in and try and pick out experience? Now, he's already bringing in experience with Kieran Tierney. If we can get Jeffrey Sloop, who's 32-year-old, and it looks a fantastic player in various positions, that brings a little bit more experience. Will he bring in any experience in the forward position, or will he go for a long-term target, which is Matthias from Brøndby? Will he go for Matthias from Brøndby, who is only 22? Possible centre-back, possible winger. Worried about Jamie next season, says Dan. Welsh should look at Henry's career progression and he should go. I think that, Jack Henry is a player that we brought in from Dundee, remember? We brought in Jack Henry from Dundee and he never really got a bit of a chance at Celtic, but he's went on to have a fantastic career. I know, did we let Jack Henry go too quick? Did he not get enough of a chance at Celtic? Is he better than what we've got at Celtic at the moment? Comes down to the Scottish contingent. Yang is still pissed, says Parkhead boy. I think with Jota delivery, we got the best out of Kyogo. Not having them together, he's missed an opportunity. I think Jota went away and he knew. Jota went away and made his money. Jota went away for a different reason completely. Kyogo went away for supposedly football reasons. And I think that he picked the wrong team. I've said right from the start, why Rennes? Why Rennes? They were way down. They're fighting relegation. They are fighting relegation, and oh no, they're not now. They've managed to get up the table. They have managed to get up the table, so they're up to 12th in the league, which isn't bad. They've won 3 of their last 5 games, so that's got them out of the relegation battle. That's got them on, because they were way down. They were about second bottom at one point, weren't they? They've managed to get. When you look at it, the French league. You've got Montpellier, who are on 15 points. You've got Saint Etienne on 20 points. Le Havre on 21. And then you've got various other teams on 22. And then you've got Rennes on 29 points. So it's been... I think it's got lucky that they've turned it around and they've managed to jump up the league. And then there just shows you... Do you think that PSG... when you look at some of these teams, there's an 18-team league in France. And people say, France is bigger than Scotland, for fuck's sake, Baz. It's about the league and the smaller teams. Do you think that PSG and and Marseille, Nice, and Lille, Monaco even, and even Lyon or Strasbourg. You take this top 7. Do you think that they moan about going to Saint Etienne? Do you think about the moan about going to Montpellier, who have been the whipping boys and only got 15 points this season? It kind of puts it into perspective. It does kind of put it into perspective. And the argument that people try to give for increasing the league in Scotland, and it's got to be more pish games, or more fucking pish games. I'm like, oh, what's that shit? Fuck's sake, man. It's fucking bad. I love fucking watching that pish. Do you think they do that in French? Can't speak French, so I'm not even going to try it. But anyway, it's just Sloop is a better buy than Tierney. Is he? He's older. Paradise found. Give me your explanation why. This is a serious question. Give me an explanation why Sloop is a better buy than Kieran Tierney. Sloop is 32 years old. Kieran Tierney is still only 27, I think, or 28. 27, 28. So anyway, there's 4 or 5, potentially 4 or 5 years younger. Vitz Garden is available this summer for $8 million. Kicks in this summer. Yes, Thomas, I know that. I spoke about that in a video a couple of weeks ago. You should talk like that all the time. Like what? No. What if Kyogo never got a choice of teams? It was Celtic that decided. It wasn't Celtic. They'd been in talk with Rennes for months. The manager said that. They said they'd been in talk with Rennes for months. It was always Rennes that he wanted to go to. So be it. KT, probably the most skillful, versatile player. Sloop signed up with Dyson super contract. Hoopy says Jota went for a shitload of cash, so anyone always would do the same, and now he's back here and he's happy. Yep, Thiago can forget European football for the rest of his career. Yes, Norman, you said it in one. Kyogo did not go to play European top-level football or win things in the games. He went to prove to his manager that he could play at a higher level and get into the national team. Now, if that's your main goal, so be it. But I think Kyogo had a lot more to offer. I think, and especially after being linked with the links in Manchester City. I think after being linked with Manchester City, his agent has let him down. And I think that the advice that his agent has been giving him has let him down as well. But anyway, who cares? He's gone. It was just shite sneaking out the back door, Kyogo. Yeah, it was that. Baz, do a poll on how many games KT will play next season. I'll tell you one thing. Tierney's looking decent for him going into the end of the season in the English Premiership. And for people to say that, I mean, he played further forward for Arsenal. Kyogo might want to pull a Jota now. No chance. Not a chance. Would you seriously take Kyogo back with that dodgy shoulder? I mean, one tackle in training for Jeffrey Sloop, and that's him. He's down on that shoulder. I wouldn't take Kyogo back. Not a chance. He's too old now. 30-year-old. I wouldn't take him back. I know he's only been away 3 or 4 months. 3 months, but I wouldn't take him back. No way. You can bet Celtic were quick to accept 25 million for Jota. Of course they were. Of course they were. But there was also a clause in the contract saying that if they didn't accept 25 million for Jota, Jota would then have to go into 45 grand a week at Celtic. He says that wasn't the question. Let me just read it. Do a poll on how many games KT will play next season. But then I can only put in 4 different amounts. So what do you put in? 20, 30, 40, 50? Anyway, can't take away from his agent himself. We knew Kyogo ran the race and has made his money. Let's talking about Baby Yoda. Yeah, let's get to the 100 votes. We're sitting on 90 votes. Let's even get to 100 votes. And KT has won a watch coming back to Celtic. We've been fooled. Do you think so? Do you think that we've been fooled by Kieran Tierney coming back to Celtic? It's funny how people said that at the time that Scott Brown was done. Scott Brown was done when Brendan Rodgers came into Celtic. Kieran Tierney's only 27-year-old. He's far by done as a player. Do you think the standard of the rest of the other teams in the league has increased this season? Diane, that's a good question. When you look at the SPFL table, has it improved this season? I'm going to say no. I'm going to say that Aberdeen showed well, it's a hard one because both Hibernian and Hearts, for a big part of the season, were down in 11th and 12th position. And Hibernian managed to get a couple of wins in a row. I think Hibernian got 3 wins in a row at that point, and it grabbed them off the bottom spot of the table, and it left Kilmarnock and Hearts. And for me, that was fantastic. And to think that the possibility of Kilmarnock and Hearts going down, because they were both woeful at the time. St Johnstone were a bit further up the table than what they were, and Dundee were a bit further up the table. I mean, Dundee went in a free fall. Dundee have went in a complete free fall this season. Kilmarnock have stayed there or thereabout at the bottom half of the league. I think that Hibernian have had a fantastic 3/4 of a season to get, well, even half of a season to get back up. They've been on a fantastic winning run before they played Celtic. I think 15 games unbeaten or something, and that's a tremendous amount of games in the league. I mean, they're unbeaten in the last 5. Aberdeen let themselves down completely this season. I think this will be a season remembered for Aberdeen letting themselves down by Aberdeen's fans who need 3 votes for the poll. I think that Aberdeen will say that this has been a season of vast disappointment for them, due to the fact that they ran Celtic so close right up until Christmas. Right up till near enough Christmas, and then they just completely fell away. Completely. Hibernian have had a fantastic season, and you've got to say, as much as I don't like it, you've got to say that Hearts climbing up the table the way they have, and getting into the top 6, just at the right time of the season. I mean, it doesn't matter what you do all season for teams like Hearts and Motherwell and St Mirren. You know, you could be way down the bottom of the league, but as long as you finish at this point of the season, and this is where I don't like the top 6 split, because it could be the fact that Hearts get into the top 6, but then they never do anything. They never win any games, and you could end up. I mean, when you look at the points, right, from 5th position, you've got Dundee United on 41 points. 6th position, you've got Hearts on 39 points. Motherwell, 38 points. St Mirren, 35. Ross County, 35. Then you've got Kilmarnock down on 32. I would take them out of the equation. But from Ross County, from 9th position, up until 5th position, there's only two results, 2 wins. 2 wins either way can excel Ross County into the top 6. And could put Dundee United back down. You know, 2 losses in the next 2 games is absolute paramount wins for these games. Now, people will say, well, that's what makes the split so good. But it makes it boring then for the final games of the season. Whoever finished in 6th position or 5th position know that they're safe. Even Aberdeen. I mean, Aberdeen are going to fight it out. You could say that Dundee United are going to try and fight it out to try and get that 3rd spot. But ultimately, Hearts will say, well, look, there's only so many points in it. We're in there to try and get that 3rd spot. Can Hearts overcome Dundee United, Aberdeen and Hibernian to finish in the 3rd spot? I don't think so. What you could see happening, and what you will see happening once again this year, you'll see Motherwell and St Mirren overtaking the team that is in 6th position. And I think that is unfair. It's an unfair financial advantage. And when, in the Scottish game, when they spoke about so much about integrity, that doesn't give you integrity when teams can finish on a higher points base and be financially impeded. That doesn't sit well with me. But and if you want to give integrity to the game, if you want to give true integrity to the game, make the league bigger, reduce the amount of times we play each other, get it down to 2 times a season, twice a season that you play each other home and away. It's as simple as that. Every other league does it, and then that gives you true integrity into the league. Have a playoffs that is the way it is, and the playoffs are a fantastic addition to it, but it then allows you to bring in youth players, and I'm going to say it, to this day, Hearts still have one of the best youth system setups in Scotland, because my cousin's lad has now made it into the B team. My cousin's lad now's made it into the B team in Hearts, and they've got one of the best youth systems in Scotland. And the fact that Celtic were after him for about 2 years, and he wouldn't leave, he didn't want to leave the school that he was at, because Hearts put him through the school. It just shows you what could happen if you really focus on youth. So anyway, how did the horses get on? Was there a Hun scalper on it? No idea. Does winning on Tuesday affect we get automatic qualification for the UCL? No. There'll be 2 teams going to... Scotland finished 14th in the coefficient league or something, whatever it is. But Scotland will have 2 places in the... I think Rangers need to play 2 games to get into the Champions League, and Celtic will need to play 1. So no, we've still got to go through qualifiers. So yeah. Maida to get the first goal tomorrow and win 3-0 to Celtic, says Patrick. I think that with them winning on Thursday, I think all that affects is the coefficiency score. But no, we still have to go through a qualifier, and we'll get 2 teams in the qualifiers. Hoopy says he's been saying the same for years. Yep. Heaven forbid you try to bring in a tiffo against genocide. But the knuckle scrapping bottle throw zombies will get an escort. The zombies will let off pyro tomorrow. Mark my words for this. The zombies will set off pyro tomorrow. If they don't let off pyro, it will be seen as a shame game for them. It's 3 games for the Huns. Well, that's even better then. That's even better. It's 3 games for them. Can't I wait for tomorrow? Yep, I can't wait for tomorrow either. I've still undecided what pub I'm going to go to. I was down at a couple of pubs today trying to get tables booked, but they were like, not a chance will you be able to book a table. It's a case of get down here. And this is how early everybody's having to go to the pub here tomorrow, 10 o'clock in the morning. And there is a big St. Patrick's Day parade here tomorrow. And that is going to be absolutely bonkers. The reckon there's going to be 15,000 people on the strip watching the parade as it goes by. And at the same time, you've got hunters, absolutely hunters of Celtic fans down in Carbaroy just now, which is absolutely fantastic. And it's good to see it becoming a little bit of, it's a big Irish area. Here. They got beat 2-0 and won a penalty shootout. Yeah, they did get beat 2-0. We need to remind ourselves that. In fairness, the Scottish teams, mainly us, have done well in Europe this season. It's going to be a beautiful Sunday, says Mark. Yep, I think so. Have to watch the match on my phone tomorrow behind my market stall. Usually the buns call and check the score. Yeah, unlucky for that one. Anyway, that's me done and dusted for this afternoon. The league table stands as all the games are finished on the Saturday. Celtic are sitting, obviously, top of the table, looking down on the Rangers, 75 points. Rangers are on 59 points. Hibernian missed a massive opportunity to close the gap on Rangers. They're only on 44 points. They ended up drawing the game. Aberdeen are on 43 points. Could have jumped above Hibernian. You've got to say, what is going on with Aberdeen? I mean, they've drawn their last 2 games. They lost the game, and then they won 2 games. They've just been in free fall, absolute free fall. It's frightening how how bad Aberdeen have been the second half of the season. Dundee United are on 41 points. Hearts are on 39 points, scraping it into the top 6 just at the perfect time. Hearts fans will say, I say not. Motherwell are sitting on 38 points with just 2 games to go before the split. St Mirren are on 35 points. Ross County are on 35 points. Kilmarnock are on 32. Woo! Put down Kelly. Can Dundee win a couple of games between now and the end of the season to put Kilmarnock down into the playoff position? Did Kilmarnock still come into the playoff position in 10th position? I don't know. I've never usually pay interest in the playoffs because it's usually more focused on winning the league. Anyway, with winning the league comes everything else. And on that note, have an absolutely fantastic evening, Celtic fans, wherever you are, all around the world. Usually more focused on winning the league. Anyway, with winning the league comes everything else. And on that note, have an absolutely fantastic evening, Celtic fans, wherever you are, all around the world.